heart for the hurting and the poor and the despondent and the outcast in our midst, Yahweh says, we will pray and call and seek Yahweh, but we will not be heard. But I'm born again. You will not be heard. I know how to keep a kosher home. I even have my wife wearing tzitzit now. I even have a King James Siddur. I wrote one. I don't just go by the Siddur. I have a King James red letter Siddur because I wrote one. Sounding gong, sounding brass. Yahweh said, that's nice, very nice. But if you're not proactive in helping the hurting, he said, don't bother praying. Because you're so self-focused, that's why your prayers are not being heard. Because you're so focused on yourself. It's hard. You're going to have to go against human nature, against church prayer seminars. You name it and claim it. Whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever your business needs to get off the ground. You, the unholy trinity, me, myself, and I.
Yes.
Yahweh says the opposite. Unless you put the hurting and underprivileged yourself, not the state, not the food stamps, not the grocery store, not your rich brother in Argentina. Don't send them to your rich brother in Argentina. You! If you don't adopt that person into your home, your life, reach out, get out of your comfort zone, you must. What did Deuteronomy 15:4 say? Tehillah, there shall be no poor among you. HRS tells us that's impossible. It's impossible. Yahweh says, if everyone in Israel is doing what they're supposed to do, it is possible. Not everybody's going to be rich and famous, but everybody will have clothing, food, and shelter. Yahweh says, if you shut your ears to the hurting, but you call on Yahweh, you won't be heard. Prayer can be hindered by not seeking the hurting in Israel. Proverbs 22:9. He that has a tov generous eye shall be blessed, for he gives his lechem to the poor. Proverbs 28:8. He that by interest and unjust gain increases substance will gather in for others who will pity the poor. I'll read that again. Proverbs 28:8. He who by interest and unjust gain gains substance is gathering it for others who will pity the poor. Don't miss this one. Mishlei 28:27. Proverbs 28:27. He that gives to the poor shall not lack.
Hallelujah.
Look at me. You're doing all the right things. You're saying all the right things. You're going to all the right services. You have all the right doctrine. You got all the right Shabbat theology. But because you are underprivileged, and because you're hurting, you have thought that relieves you of the responsibility to help the hurting, the downpressed, the downcast. And Yahweh says, look at the result. Yahweh says, if the poor, the hurting, don't give to the poor and the hurting, they will lack. Are you getting this?
Yes.
You know why a lot of folks don't have stuff? Because they haven't yet been able to reach out to others who have less than them.
Hallelujah.
Are you getting this?
Amen.
They're still self-centered and self-focused. Now watch this. Believers, verse 27. Believers who have no ongoing thoughts for others. Oh, this is heavy. This is heavy. Mishlei 28:27. He that gives to the poor shall not lack, but he that hides his eyes from the hurting has many, look, has many curses. Hey, nombre de Yeshua, no. Slow down. Maybe some of those curses that have come upon our lives is because we've hidden our eyes and our heart from the hurting. We got the message, but we don't have the spirit behind the message. Curses? That's what it says. If we pretend that the hurting is not there, don't worry about Don't worry about him. The rabbi will take care of him. See? Right there, you have brought curses into your life.
Yes.
Don't worry about Rachel, Hila, and Shoshana. No, the rabbi, if they need money or if they,
Yeah.
if they need the rabbi, just speak to the rabbi.
Yeah, speak to them.
See? That's inviting the unclean into your life.
Wow.
Yahweh says no. Why would you want to be cursed and not blessed? You take care of them. You pay their bill. You reach out. My. Believers who have no ongoing thoughts of others hurting are under divine curses. Proverbs 29:7, the tzaddik considers the cause of the poor. The wicked desires not to know it. Proverbs 31:9, open your mouth, judge righteously. Plead the cause of the needy and the hurting. You missed that. Don't just believe in helping the hurting. Plead their cause. That's what we're doing now in Chaim B'Yeshua Human Resource Center. We're not just talking about getting our heart right and caring for others. We're pleading their cause. Pleading means be an advocate, be a spokesman, be a leading spokesman, be outspoken. Don't just believe in helping the less fortunate. Be an advocate. Stand up and be heard. Are you getting this?
Amen.
I said, are you getting this?
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Awesome.
We're not only to help the hurting, but we are to plead their cause and be an active, proactive advocate for their cause. That's what I want to do with my life from here on in.
Amen.
I want to have the right doctrine, but also I want to have the right spirit. And I want to plead their cause because there may be another Nina in 10 years. But if we wake up in Sion, there could be a boys' boarding school or a girls' boarding school that ministers healing and deliverance, but within a Torah framework.
Hallelujah.
Next time I know a couple that needs marriage counseling, needs help, you won't have to call a Christian counselor. You'll be able to call a Torah-based, Nazarene,
Amen.
full gospel. When I say full gospel, I mean Genesis to Revelation. Not that version of the full gospel. Full gospel means Genesis to Revelation, and that couple can get deliverance and counseling and be encouraged to keep Shabbat and not come to church on Sunday. If we wake up, if everybody listening to my voice does what they can do, steps out and becomes an advocate for this cause, we can change the paradigm in this world.
Amen.
You understand? It's a paradigm change.
Amen.
And when you need your light bill paid, when you need your phone bill paid, if you're underprivileged and hurting, where do you go? Catholic services. But the day is coming, the hour is coming. Yes, now is even near when we will go to Sion, because from Sion goes forth the Torah. From Sion goes the word of Yahweh. And from Sion goes the healing virtue to the nations.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
The day is coming, the hour is coming, and now is here.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Hallelujah.
That's right.
That's
The
what,
hour is here.
Hallelujah.
that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
My Father.
Is it possible that because we have no programs, no outreaches, nothing for those who are hurting, is because of these curses? And why have these curses come? Because we have hidden our eyes, making believe that everything is okay in Israel, and everything is not okay. When our people are going to Sunday-based systems for help because we don't have anything to offer them, things are not okay. Thank goodness those systems exist, because otherwise we'd have nothing. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Proverbs 31:9. Open your mouth, judge righteously, plead the cause of the poor. Proverbs 31:20. A set-apart woman stretches out her hand to the poor. It's talking about a Eshet Chayil, a virtuous wife. Mishlei 31. Yes, She reaches out her hands to the needy. Listen, an Israelite wife, or Israelite wife to be. Let's just take for an example like Shoshana. An Israelite wife to be, right? To be or not to be. An Israelite wife to be is expected, Proverbs 31:20, to have a ministry to the hurting in order for her to be Eshet Chayil, or a set-apart woman. Did you get that? We read Proverbs 31 all the time. Proverbs 31, a virtuous woman is hard to find. A virtuous woman is more precious than gold and rubies and silver. Right? But you know what part of being Eshet Chayil is all about? Having a ministry to the hurting. Let's read it again, because you missed it. Proverbs 31:20. She stretches out her hand. How wide? As wide as she can get it? No. As wide as Yahweh can make it. If you're going to be a godly woman to a Nazarene Israelite husband, you have to, according to the definition of the Torah, have a ministry to the hurting outside of your little being a soccer mom or a little league dad. Hello. You're going to have to go further than that to make sure curses and fear and lack don't come to your house. You're going to have to be more than a little league dad and a soccer mom. Boy, I'm preaching good today.
Yes.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. An Israelite wife, according to Proverbs 31:20, is expected to have, she stretch, notice, they don't wait for trick or treat for UNICEF. Mom, the charity guys are here again. All right. Do we have 2 quarters? Yes, baby. Go get 2 quarters. No, darling. An Israelite wife stretches out her hand to the hurting, meaning she goes out of her comfort zone. She goes out of her way, not just to take care of hubby and the kids, but those who are Yeshua next door. Hello? An Eshet Chayil, a Proverbs 31 woman, is a woman who has, you cannot be, you listen carefully, Deuteronomy 15:4, there will be no poor in Israel. Listen, you cannot be a Israelite Torah-keeping wife without a ministry to the hurting. You're going to have to get outside of yourself and find the hurting, find Yeshua, and put some clothes on them. Is that what it says? Is that what it says, Tehillah?
Yes.
A virtuous woman must stretch out to the needy.
Yes.
And we thought this, oh, she's got to have dresses, she can't wear pants.
Yeah.
She's got to have her head covered.
Yeah.
She can't have any strange jewelry. She can't be too enticing with her hair. No high heels, she's got to dress in sandals. No makeup. If I could find that, I could find a set-apart woman. Yeah, P.S. Does she have a ministry to the hurting? Ouch! How can she? She's got 5 kids in Little League and 3 in soccer. Move on. You have to find another candidate. That's what the scriptures teach. I didn't write the scriptures.
Hallelujah.
The cat is out of the bag now. Baruch, I admire women who volunteer their time to Yahweh to help the hurting. I admire women like that. So does Yahweh. Yahweh calls them Eshet Chayil, virtuous women. It's more than not wearing too much makeup. It's more than not using eyeliner. It's more than that.
Amen. That's right.
Hadassah 9:22. Check this out quickly. In Purim was a day, according to Esther 9:22. It says they send gifts to the poor.
Yes.
I thought Purim was a day to get silly. Yes, but the reason Yahweh blessed Purim, even though it's not a biblical holiday, you know why Yahweh preserved Purim? So we can get drunk and not tell the difference between Mordechai and Haman? No, because we used it as a day to reach the hurting.
Wow.
Purim was a day when Mordecai
That's
and Esther sent sustenance to the poor. There it is. And Yahweh goes, I'm impressed. Set it apart. Not set it apart so you can get drunk and have Hamantash and cookies.
Oh, how beautiful this is.
If you're going to use this day
How beautiful this
to
is.
reach out to the hurting and the needy, go ahead. Even though it's not a moed of Vayikra 23, go ahead. Add it to the calendar. Hello?
Wow.
Matthew 11:5, as we start closing. Matthew 11:25, 11:5. I'm going to go quickly. The blind receive their sight. Here's the gospel. The lame walk. The lepers are cleansed. The deaf hear. The dead are being raised up. The poor have the Besorah proclaimed to them, Matthew 11:5, and are acquitted. That's unique to our translation, to the restoration.